We're just going to turn that one off. You are not mistaken. It is Monday, and I'm streaming. Usually I do this on Sundays. I did do it on Sunday. I did it yesterday. But if you don't know me, my name is Jess, and I make zines on the stream. And yesterday I did not make a zine. I just had to double check that my mic was turned on. I forgot if I turned it on or not. I did not make the zine. We did our morning pages. You can see in my list. My list over there. I did my morning pages yesterday. We figured out what the zine was going to be. So you can see right here. Actually, let's switch over to the internet. There's a little sneak preview of what we're doing today. So I run a jam, a zine jam. It's called Sunday Zine Club. And next 2 weeks, no, not next week, 2 weeks. So you have 12 days, 21 hours, because we got 59 minutes there. So March 2nd, 10 a.m. is the deadline. The theme is joy. And so my idea was, I have this list. Oh, you can barely see that on the screen down there at the bottom. Yes, the theme is joy. I have this list you can see in my notes. I call it a love list. It's this list of my favorite things that I've been writing since 2001. And I just write it in my notebook, whatever notebook I'm carrying at the time. Right now I've got this beautiful Chic Sparrow Traveler's Notebook cover. I bought this used on eBay for like $100, and it's pure leather. It's real leather, handmade. If you know the company Chic Sparrow, and it's used, but it's so gorgeous. I love it so much. And often what I'll do is in my notebooks at the back, I will just have this like running list of, I love that. I love this thing. It's like totally random things. Like, I love that one part of that movie. I love that one piece of that song. I love this one bite of pizza. It was the perfect bite of pizza. These just like little moments, little patterns that I'm noticing. I'm always noticing patterns. If you know anything about me, I love patterns and I love lists. So that's what the zine's going to be. But here's the thing. Because I've been writing this list since 2001, like I said, it's a really long list. And I dug it out the other day. So I wrote down here a big zine, meaning a bigger size than I usually do, because usually I do the... Is this like really loud? It's really loud in my ears. Maybe I just need to be further away from the mic. Usually I do the mini zine size. And so I'm thinking this is going to be a quarter size right here. It's going to be a big zine. It's going to be an annotated list with dates and notes. This is what I'm thinking. But yesterday, when I had this idea, when I created this idea, it was too big. It was just too overwhelming. I actually started this idea thinking I would do like a half letter size zine, and I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the quarter. Because I don't want to do the entire list. That's the thing. I don't want to do the whole list. And so I said yesterday on the stream that I was going to take some time and think about it. Think about how I want to make this zine. And here's what I came up with, as you might have seen before. So on Tumblr right now, there is a trend of people using this website called Picker Wheel and putting a whole bunch of options into this picker wheel, and then you spin it and then you vote on it. So like the people on Tumblr will create the options and then create a poll of like, so like the most recent one I saw was spin this wheel of random items and then tell me, is this something you want or something that's bad for you, something that you hate? So it was like options of like, yeah, this is the best thing ever, I've always wanted one, or like, all right, I don't know what to do with it, but sure, it's not a big deal, or, you know, this thing will actively kill me, this thing is terrible for me. It's a very fun meme. And so I went to this website and I was like, can I just import this entire plain text list of how many 3,100. Can you see that? Let me just double check that you can. Yeah. So it is 3,153 items on this list. This list that I've been writing since 2001. And like, I don't write in it really consistently. Like, I actually haven't for quite a few years now. I definitely, so the other day I definitely found my list from 2019, but I don't know if I have any lists since then. But still, 3,000 items on this list, you can see. So here's the plan. We're going to spin this wheel a whole bunch of times, and I'm going to write about it. And we're going to put it into the pages, and I'm going to annotate it, right? I'm going to add my memories, my notes, my thoughts. If my opinion has changed or if it's the same, perhaps that could be fun as well too. It's a little bit scary to do this live though, because I was 19 when I started this list. There's probably some really embarrassing stuff on here. I've been spinning it a couple times while I've been testing this out. And one of the things that came up was like my favorite moment from the movie trailer for Serenity. Not even the movie Serenity, but the trailer. Like, that's wild. Okay. Are you ready? Are we ready to spin this wheel? Let's see what we get. Let's do it. It does make noise, but I muted that because it goes on a little bit long. There is confetti, though. Enchanted. Okay, this is great. This is a very good start. So, let's go look at pages. So, we have, the cover is here. I'm not going to say, I don't need to say, this is the back cover. So page 1 is the front, page 8 is the back. So we're not going to stick stuff on those pages. I think we do want page 2. I think I do want to talk about, so actually page 2 should be essay about what the heck this zine is. And then page 3 is going to be enchanted. Okay. And I'm thinking that we'll probably get, depending on how much I want to write about each one, we might get at least 2 on each page, 3 or 4, maybe. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. So we get a really good cross section. It's not just like 5 items in this scene. It's going to be a lot. So one of the things that I'm going to do is just change all of these ones to body text, because I don't want the big giant text. And I think we're going to stick it at the top like that. I do want to make it bigger than 11 though. Wow. Why is the body text 11? Maybe I have to go in and change my template. We're going to do 14. And actually, we're going to zoom this because this is looking kind of small. Can we do 175? No, 200? 200 is too big. 150 will have to be. Okay. So, I think we might do like numbers as well too. That could be fun. Well, not like that. So to start, we're just going to write some notes. So, Enchanted. This movie, I'm pretty sure it's 2007. That's my memory. I saw this movie in the theater for my birthday. It was also on my birthday, but it was for my birthday in 2007, which means I was 20. How old was I? 26. Right? 26. I was turning 26. Because if it was actually my birthday, then I actually was. Here's the thing about my birthday. My birthday is December 31st. My birthday is the very last day of the year. So I have like trained myself to always subtract 1 whenever I tell somebody how old I was in a certain year, right? Like in 2007, I would have been turning 26, but for most of 2007 I was actually 25. But on the actual day. All right, so I love this movie. I have still not watched the sequel. Why can I not type today? Sequel, Disenchanted. I mean, absolutely fantastic name. Which came out in, we will look this up. So, we're gonna go over to the internet. And we're gonna look up some info. Good old Wikipedia. Because we got to double check that Enchanted, yes, 2000. And sequel 2022. I mean, I think it's a fantastic idea for a sequel. I'm very into it. Like, because she has a stepdaughter from the original film and she like gets possessed or something, so she turns bad. It's a very good idea. It's been a very long time since I've been able to like just sit down and watch a whole movie. Okay, I lost my tabs. So the thing, so you might remember yesterday, if you were here yesterday, that's okay. You can go back and watch the replay. I have a whole new setup at my desk that is my laptop, but connected to my mouse. I haven't used my mouse with my laptop ever. Because I'm not a laptop native, right? I had computers when I was a kid. But for like my personal computer, I had a laptop when I was 17. Like my own laptop. So it's like very natural for me is what I'm trying to say. Okay, I need to look at pages. Came out in 2022. I don't know that we need to go into the plot or anything like that. Maybe just pick out like some of my favorite moments. I love the musical, the scene in the park when Giselle bursts into song and everyone around them knows the words and the choreography. And what is Patrick Dempsey's character's name? Robert. And Robert says, he says something like, how do they know the words? It's one of those great meta moments. I mean, one of the reasons why I love this movie. It's the meta commentary on film and fairy tale tropes. All right. That's a lot. That's a lot for one. So, we have two. And I'm gonna try to hit that command save a little bit more often. I've had just a few more moments recently where like stuff has not saved properly. This morning I was on my iPad and I had created this entire Tumblr post with photos and alt text. And then it just disappeared. Tumblr were just like, oh, we need to reload the page. And then everything was gone. And I was like, all right, that post is gone then. It's not going to happen. Let's go back to the wheel. Let's spin the wheel. Round and round and round it goes, and where it stops, no one knows. Of that one light line, Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran. There's some good stuff on this list. All right. And the music videos for that album that they did, fantastic. All right, Hungry Like a Wolf. Is it Hungry Like a Wolf or Hungry Like the Wolf? I'm going to double check that. My entry says the. We will see if that is correct. Hungry Like the Wolf is correct. 1983. See, so 1983, I was not 2, I was 1. It's filmed in Sri Lanka. Russell Mulcahy, why does that sound familiar? He directed Highlander, that's why it sounds familiar. He did The Shadow with Alec Baldwin? Oh, wow, I love that movie. That movie and but he also directed the terrible Teen Wolf movie. that makes sense though, like to get his sensibilities. I mean, it was I haven't seen it because I just heard so many terrible things about it. I was a fan of the show, so, and the fact that like Styles just wasn't in it, like how do you make a movie and just write him out? That makes no sense to me. Anyway, we're talking about Hungry Like the Wolf. I bet you anything Teen Wolf's on my list, though. Video won the Grammy. Might put that album cover in my zine. All right, so 1983 music video filmed in Sri Lanka. I won the Grammy. We should say and, just so we know we're talking about the video. Maybe we quote some lyrics. Oh, I like this. 23-second sample from Hungry Like the Wolf featuring Rhodes' Girlfriend's Laugh at the beginning, LeBon's vocals with a backing track that mixes a TR-808 drum machine and a Roland Jupiter 8 and the repeating of the word do. The repeating of the word do at the end of each verse takes this melody from the instrumentals in Gordon Lightfoot's song, If You Could Read My Mind. That's fascinating. Produced by the same guy that did Too Shy by Kajagoogoo and I Want Candy by Bow Wow. No wonder it's a banger. Wow. That is a lot of talent on one track. The track came from the fiddling with the new technology. Yeah, it makes sense. A lot of it was just, they invented so many things because all of those machines were brand new at that time. So I'm trying to think of, I probably put this on my list. So here's a fact about me. I grew up without having cable television. So it's not true that the only TV that I watched, obviously I went to other people's houses, but we did not have MTV. And I'm from Canada, so a lot of people didn't have MTV because it was like a very high cable channel. You had to pay for like a special cable channel. But we had Much Music not long after MTV came out. Much Music is the Canadian counterpart, but I didn't even have that either. Because we only had the channels that you can get with the antenna. So the point of this is that I had never seen a lot of music videos for very famous songs. As much as I love music and grew up with music, I grew up with records and cassettes and then CDs, obviously. So I'm going to guess that I added this to my list in the YouTube music video heyday. There was a time in the early years of YouTube, like if you look at my channel, if you look at this channel that you're on right now and go to my profile and see when I signed up, 2006, because I've been watching YouTube videos that long. But in the early days, I only ever watched like media because we just couldn't get it. And so like YouTube was the way that I watched it. Like all of those famous 1980s music videos that everyone talks about on MTV. I didn't see them until people posted them on YouTube. I grew up without cable TV and only saw a lot of the most iconic music videos when they were illegally posted on YouTube. So I probably put this on my list in around that 2006, 2007 era. I mean, there's not all of these. Some of these will have numbers, my list, and some of them do not. My list is just a mess. It's a mess of a text file. So at one time, I was making it an ordered list with bullet points. At one time, I was making it a numbered list. And now that it's in just a plain text file, all those numbers are hard-coded in there that I would have to go in and I don't have the tech skills to write like a script to delete all of those numbers. So they're just there. All right, let's go. I'm going to spin it again. This is reminding me of the LimeWire logo. Anyone remember LimeWire? So there you go. There's the number 1588. Vancouver Whitecaps fight song. Off the top of my head, I cannot think of what it is, but my dad has... Actually, you know what? I was going to say my dad has the single on vinyl, but I think I have it now. Let me see if I can find it for you. I know that I have I just moved them because I wanted to change my background for filming, and now I don't know where I put them all. Oh, there they are. All right, give me 1 second. That is so funny. Here we go. It's called White is the Color. I remember it now that I saw the title. White is the color and soccer is the game. We're all together and winning is our aim. So cheer us on through the sun and rain, 'cause Whitecaps is our name. I have this on vinyl. I wonder, we gotta look this up. I bet you anything we could go on YouTube right now and find this. Fight song. Maybe I do. Okay, where we go. Sing along. From the From McDonald's. Is this from McDonald's? I wonder. That would be funny if it was. Vancouver Whitecaps song. Yeah, not 2024. What are you talking about? The Proclaimers covered it in 2010. If I knew that, I don't remember that. Maybe we do. I mean, I don't want to play it. This person only has a sing-along. Side B. What is side B? White is the color, and Looking High is on the back of mine. Looking High is written by Graham Wood, who wrote the lyrics to the other song. The music is written by Daniel Boone and Rod McQueen. Gotta get my dad in the chat. Let me know. Well, let's put the pages. There we go. Okay. So that was page 3. So we're looking for page 4. Here we go. And it's going to be number 3. White is the color with a U. Color with a U, you'll notice. The Vancouver Whitecaps team song. There's no date on this, I don't think. I don't see a date. It might be this part that is a little bit torn. No, there's no date on the inside either. All right, we're going to put the chorus in here. So white is the color. Oh, wait, look at that. Look at this. So here it says white is the color with a U. And here, white is the color with an O. Fascinating. That's right there. That is what being Canadian is like. Both of them are correct. Here, both of them are correct. Some people care, but for the most part, we don't care. I mean, we read it the same way, right? It doesn't change. So white is the color. Soccer is the game. I could probably copy and paste this from the internet, huh? But I'm really fast. So cheer us on through the sun and rain, 'cause Whitecaps is our name. All right, number 4. Oh, let's save. Let's save before I forget that. Number 4 on the wheel. The iPod music quiz. The iPod music quiz. Was there a feature on the iPod where it would like play your music and you had to guess what it was? Because that sounds very cool. There was a game. Music quiz lives on as a hidden it's on your iPhone. Oh my god, it's on the iPhone? This is probably a very old article though, right? 2022. Oh my gosh. We need to look this up. Classic iPods had Parachute, Bricks, which was like smashing, Solitaire, and music quiz. Wow. I don't remember this. Music quiz is a Siri shortcuts game. That is so cool. I need to if you haven't deleted any shortcuts, music quiz will be on your... Oh, I might need to download the shortcuts app. I don't think I have the shortcuts app on my phone anymore because I just don't use it. Fascinating. It's exactly what I thought it was though, where the iPod plays bits of your music and you have to identify it, which, like, if it was my music, I would kick ass at that game. All right. One of the things I might have to do is figure out how to play this game on your phone and then write the instructions into the zine. That would be very cool. So the iPod music quiz. A hidden game. I suppose it's not hidden on the iPod, right? On the iPod. Ooh. iPod Classic. A game to identify your songs from just a few seconds of music. This game still exists on your iPhone in the Shortcuts app. But I need to look that up. I need to figure this out. Might say something like, unlike the classic radio call-in game, I would kick ass if I had to ID my own library. And save. All right. One of the things that I love about this list, one of the things that I love about my notebooks, if you watch my last video about my notebook collection of I have everything going back to 2001. 2001. I'm pretty sure it's 2001. I love to just go back and just all those memories of what I was thinking, who I was, right? The person that I was back then, which is part of why, I said this list, doing this randomly like this with the picker wheel, this might be embarrassing, right? We could get something really weird. Like I said, the second thing on this list. So the first thing on this list is IKEA, which I still love. Like 90% of my stuff comes from IKEA and Volkswagens right there. IKEA and Volkswagens. Bosom buddies. But the second thing on this list is a Limp Bizkit song. I mean, I genuinely loved that album. Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water. That was the era, man. I went to a listening party for that album. I went to a club downtown to listen to the album. None of the band was there. It was just like a radio thing to listen to the album before it was released. It was the weirdest. It was one of the weirdest events I've ever been to because it was a bunch of teenagers in a club that we couldn't usually go into, right? So we'd never been to because you can't get into clubs until you're 19. A bunch of teenagers just sitting on the floor for the most part, listening to a CD being played. Not even dancing. I mean, you can't dance to Limp Bizkit. You mosh to Limp Bizkit, but all right, Volkswagens. Is that spelled correctly? I don't think that's spelled correctly, right? Isn't it Gen? Is it? Volks. Yeah, it's Gen. Okay. I mean, that's not embarrassing. That's just the way I wrote it when I was 19. Volkswagen. So I have always wanted, I mean, I still love. I actually just drove by or rode by on the bus the local dealership, and they had one of the brand new electric vans in there, and it actually looks kind of cool to me. But I mean, the color, it was like this bright, almost like that French blue color, and then white on the top. It looked nice. So my story about Volkswagens that I can write in here is that when I was like 17 or 18, maybe, I did not get my driver's license. I still do not have my driver's license. I cannot drive by myself. I haven't passed the test yet. I can drive. I have the ability. I have the skill. But back then I just didn't care about it. So I didn't do it when I was 16. But I saw in the newspaper that somebody was selling like an old bug, like a 1960s, 1970s bug. And my dad and I actually went and like looked at it and talked to the guy and did a test drive. And like every day, not every day. That's an exaggeration. That's definitely an exaggeration. But I think a lot. I think often about how, like, sliding doors, right? My life would have changed if I had actually bought that. And that would have been my motivation to get my license, right? I never had like the incentive, the push to get my license. Like, why should I? Why should I bother? The bus is great. I love taking the bus. I love walking. If I had done it then, though, if I had just bought that thing, sliding doors, man. So, when I was, let's say, I did not get my license. I don't think that's how that's spelled. License is one of my words that's just always, again, Canada, America. They spell it differently. I didn't get my license when I was 16. I still don't have my license now at 43, though now I know how to drive. I just can't pass the test. when I was 17 or 18, I found, we're going to say, original beetle in the newspaper. Beetle for sale. My dad and I went to see it and take it for a test drive that my dad drove because I could not drive at that time. I didn't even have my learners at that time. I think often about how my life might be different today if I had bought that car then. All right, look, that's perfect. It's perfect how it fits there. So that's page 4. Excuse me. Oh my God, that was so loud. That was page 4. So this is page 5. We're going to go straight to number 6. I am fast realizing that I'm not gonna finish this zine on this stream either. We might have to do, I might do Sunday zine next Sunday. You know, that's usually my off week, but I might do it next Sunday. See if I can finish this. I mean, we're definitely going to fill all the pages today. That's our goal. All right. So we're going to keep going. We're on page 5, number 6. We're going to spin that wheel. The Skype sounds. Merlin leaves in and Roderick on the line. Yes. I love artifacting. I love when you can like see the boom mic and when you can see the borders of something. And a very good example, last night I edited a vlog. And I filmed all of these pieces when I went on a little field trip. I had to go across the bridge, across the river to a different city. And it was a beautiful day. So I was like, I'm going to film a vlog. And so I filmed a whole bunch of clips. And what I didn't do is, so I have 2 DJI cameras now. I say cameras, but last year I bought the gimbal thing that you can put your phone in. But then I learned about the Pocket, which is like the gimbal, but the camera built into it. And they just released the brand new one. So I bought the very first one for super cheap, for like $150. And so I've been playing around with that one. So when I went on this trip, I didn't bring the gimbal, the handheld one, which is like a selfie stick. And then I needed to film myself. And so I was doing it. Let me get out of this little, circle. So I was like filming it with my phone like this. And so a lot of my clips start like with my phone like this and then whoop. And as I was editing this together, I loved it. Like all of these cuts of like at the floor and then the camera comes up. And so I left all of that in because I think it looks cool and I hope you think it looks cool too. So that's why that's why I love this kind of stuff. So Roderick on the Line is a podcast with Merlin Mann and John Roderick. And they've been friends for a very, very long time. And Merlin, he's a blogger that I've had followed for a really long time, since like the early 2000s. And he has this thing about, to keep in touch with his friends, he like schedules phone calls. He's just that kind of guy where he just loves to talk on the phone, which is why he's such a great podcaster now. So Merlin and John had already had this like running call, and then they turned it into a podcast. So because it's like this Skype call, so it's like this little Skype sound, it just makes it feel real, you know? It just makes it feel like it's a real thing. It makes you feel like you're part of it. So the Skype sounds that get left in the edit of the podcast, Roderick on the Line. Because I mean, it's called On the Line, right? John Roderick on the Line. It's like you are having a phone call with John Roderick, right? And all his weird stories of his life. So I think it's called artifacting, right? I feel like that's a word I have heard before. I mean, Pages doesn't like it. It's got the red underline. When pieces of the making are left in the final product, it makes it feel real. Like another human being created this thing for you. You know, the all those stories of like artifacts, like actual historical artifacts that we find, especially things like pottery, right? Because pottery, the way that you make it is with your hands. And so they find actual fingerprints in the pots that have been fired and are there forever, right? So like when we find, and like think about like the cave paintings where they put their hand and then they would blow, they would have all the pigments in their mouth as like liquidy, and then they would blow it around their hand and then take their hand away, and it would be, I get very emotional about cave paintings. I love primitive art like that. That cave painting stuff. It's like the past reaching out to you, you know? Like we can touch because I can put my hand where your hand was, and I can stand in the place where you stood. I love that shit. It feels like the past reaching out to you. I mean, that sounds like really philosophical for like a weird podcast thing, but I don't know, I believe that to be true. Number 7. We got 1, 2. Okay, so we got this page and then 2 more pages to fill with lists, and then this page here is going to be the essay. So we'll probably do on this stream, is what I'm thinking. I'm going to finish the list. I'm going to finish going through the list, and then maybe do the cover. Maybe not. We'll see what the time is. What time is it now? So it's almost an hour now. 54 minutes now. All right. So this one was probably written 2010. I want to say 2010 because that's about the time I was listening. If their podcast started at that time. But 2010 feels right. I don't listen to them anymore. I don't listen to Dalmatians. I do. I don't listen to any podcasts anymore, is what I was going to say. The only, and you might have seen this when you looked at my YouTube, the only podcast adjacent thing I listen to is fan-made clips of the McElroys on YouTube. I don't listen to the entire podcast. I just listen to each clip. It's the only way I enjoy it. I don't enjoy it for like an hour. I enjoy it for, 3 minutes, 8 minutes, 17 minutes talking about Slimer. Dalmatians. I have loved Dalmatians since I was a child. I still want a Dalmatian. Every time that I say I want a Dalmatian, somebody has to come and tell you. Let me write this. Every time I say I want a Dalmatian, someone has to tell me that they are stupid dogs. And to that, I say, I don't care. Because they are beautiful. They are my favorite colors. And I have loved 101 Dalmatians since I was very small. I love Dalmatians so much. This, I can't show you this because it's actually still in my parents' basement, but I have a realistic looking, like not like a cartoony Dalmatian. It's a very realistic plush. It's like this tall. It's like, I don't know, 3 feet, something like that. It's huge. It's giant. I have no idea where I'd put it in my house, but I love it and I don't want to get rid of it. And my uncle got that for me for Christmas one year. And the way that he wrapped it, I still remember he wrapped it so it looked like a dog. Like he wrapped every leg and on the ears. It was very funny. I love Dalmatians. Some of them, that's all I need to say, right? I just love Dalmatians. Dangling modifiers. Look at that, 227. So that's very, very early. That is probably, actually, you know what? I shouldn't say that because, like I said, the list is such a mess that the beginning of it doesn't have any numbers. So I don't know where the numbering starts, but my guess would be that this would be very early, maybe while I was still in university, but I went to university for a very long time. So, I mean, me in university could be anywhere from 2002. Did I start? No, wait, did I start in 2001? I might have taken some classes in 2001, all the way up until 2008 when I actually finally graduated. Dangling modifiers. All right, so we're gonna do 8 dangling modifiers. As a writer and an English teacher who has to care a lot about grammar, I actually love ambiguity in my writing. I love when a sentence isn't clear because people aren't clear. No, we don't know what we're saying. more than half the time. And the dangling modifier. Dangling modifier. Modification is there for us. All right, that's 8. 8. That's page 5. So we're going to go to page 6. And we're going to do 9. It's a lot of numbers. Something I should really do, actually, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to put something on the list. We're going to make pages template. Oh, no, actually, I'm going to write fill in information. I'm trying to write this so I remember what I'm thinking about. Fill in my information in the quarter size template. That'll work. I should remember that. Okay. Here? No, yes. Yes, here. Because we need to spin it again. Spin that wheel. Ooh, we're almost getting that. We're almost getting that white one. Bins by Solange. I don't remember exactly what song that is, but I do love. Oh, I already have Wikipedia open. What are you talking about? Which album is this? Discography. Is it Seat at the Table? I'm going to guess Seat at the Table because that is probably the one I've listened to the most other than her EP. No? Oh, maybe it's on the EP. Yeah, I don't see it. No? So maybe this is much later than I thought. I don't think I've listened to that one. And I really don't think I've listened to that one. That was in her, she needs to be Beyonce era. I'm not saying she thought that. I'm saying that the labels thought that. That was when I should say they wanted her to be Beyonce. What is... Oh, okay. When I Get Home. No, it's definitely this album. Yes. As soon as I saw the cover, I remembered what this album was. Or it's got to be on this one. Yeah. Okay. We'll go look that up, though. I will have to listen to that song later. I'm not going to listen to it on the stream. Obviously, get in trouble if we listen to it on the stream. So, Bins by Solange. But, let's do from... Wait, no. When I Get Home. What year? 2019? 2019. So sometimes it's very easy to know exactly when I put that on my list. Like, I would have put that on my list in 2019. Absolutely. For the most part, I try to avoid putting entire songs and entire movies and entire books on this list, just because that's not the point of it for me, right? This should be part of my essay, actually, while I am saying this. So this is what I call my love list. It's a list of things I love. But I try to avoid turning it into simply a list of my favorite songs, albums, movies, shows, books. That's not the point. It's about remembering moments and memories. It's about the pieces that make up the whole. I used this example yesterday on the stream where one of the things on this list is a bridge from a song. So not even the entire song, just 15 seconds, 20 seconds of it. Just this moment where all the singers in the band are harmonizing, but they're only saying the same word. They're all going, no, no, no. It's a new Pornographer song. It's like, yes, I love that song. But one of the reasons why that song is one of my favorites is that moment. So it's about those moments. That's what this list is about. That's what this zine is about. It's about, there's this meme of the guy that likes music, right? It's like, oh yeah, is this music? Yeah, this is good. I like this. I like music. And that I think that's a Vine. And the meme of especially straight men on dating apps being like, I love music. I love films. And it's like, okay, but that doesn't tell me anything, right? Everyone loves music. Literally everyone loves music. What is it about music that you love? That's the question. Oh, let's spin. Christopher Walken impressions. I love a good Christopher Walken impression. The show I'm watching right now is Severance, and he's in that show, and it's just in the, I would say, late 90s into the 2000s. Christopher Walken became a meme. He became one of those classic actors that people didn't remember for their acting anymore. They remembered them because, we all know where it came from at that time. It was what's the name of the song? The Fatboy Slim video, right? Where he dances. Again, YouTube music videos, right? That video is huge. It was huge on YouTube. It was huge on TV as well, too. So for a lot of people younger than me, that is their point of reference of Christopher Walken. But man, watching him in Severance, it's like, oh, that's why. Remember how good he actually is. All right, Christopher Walken impressions. Would be fun to go through and see if I can catalog a couple of them. Because off the top of my head, I cannot think of anyone. I think it's Bill Hader on SNL that does the Christopher Walken, but I don't I want to say, I mean, he does such a good Alan Alda. He's very good at that kind of like, he also has like kind of that 70s look to him as well too. There was a time in the early 2000s when Walken became more meme than actor. And that was I was going to say that was the era that I watched SNL, but that's not true. I watched SNL during the Will Ferrell, Sherry O'Terry, Chris Kattan era, which was mid 90s, late 90s. All right, something like Everyone Does Walkin'. But I feel like somebody has definitely tweeted this before, that Christopher Walken could enter a Christopher Walken impression contest and lose. You know, the same way that like Dolly Parton entered a Dolly Parton lookalike contest and lost. I think there's a story of Shatner as well too. Shatner doing a Shatner impression. Oh wait, that's not 10. And I'm almost positive there's a Cher story as well. Cher. Or like Cher dressing up and going to a gay bar on Cher night and like nobody knew that it was actually her. All right, how much more do we need to fill this up? Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper. I have a great story for this. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this zine of like, this song is connected to a very specific memory for me. This song, Just Want to Have Fun. Oh. So, it was probably 8. When I was 8, my friends and I created a music video to this song. Choreography and costumes and everything. We even used some dad's camcorder to film it. But here's the thing. But here's the real thing about this song. Or maybe we should say like the real reason I love this song. It's the Weird Al parody of it. I am almost positive that I heard the parody first. Because as big and not super diverse, but definitely, yeah, let's say diverse, wide-reaching. My parents have a very excellent record collection, and one of the reasons why you can say that my parents, or our family, we should say, like our family's music collection is so wide-reaching, is that when my brother and I split the collection to take them to like, you know, abscond with them, he took the turntable that our family had, so like our family's turntable, and he took the records that he wanted, but there was still a ton of the collection left. He just didn't want them because it wasn't to his style, to his taste. So then when I bought my turntable and took the records that I wanted, a lot of the stuff that I love was still there, right? That's how wide reaching, that's how diverse their collection was. But we never had a Cyndi Lauper record. Now that could just be because my parents' record collection kind of ends in the early 80s when they had kids. And it just made it a lot harder to know and to listen, and so like their taste kind of ended there, right? So I'm almost positive that I never heard Girls Just Want to Have Fun before I heard Girls Just Want to Have Lunch. So when my friends wanted to do this music video, that's the song that I was singing in my head. Girls Just Want to Have Lunch. I think maybe we can fit one more on this page. If it's a little one, we'll see. We'll see what it is. Free promo postcards. Absolutely. One of the things that I love is ephemera. Yes, we can definitely fit that on that page. All right, number 12. Free promo postcards. I love ephemera. And I love free things. I love walking around an exhibition hall and picking up whatever is on the table. I'm taking it home and sticking it on my bedroom wall. Absolutely. Okay, so that's 12. This is page 7, and this is 13. This is the last page. It's the last page we're going to fill up. So we'll see how many more pieces of our list can we get on there. Spin that wheel. Frayed jeans. Oh my God. That is kind of like that's an indictment of fashion trends. The way that trends just cycle again and again and again and again. It's like today. Well, I mean, that's not true. I actually did buy a pair of jeans from Old Navy that have like giant holes cut in the knees. Not the super giant ones that you see teenagers wearing, like the Gen Z ones, which is like a third of the jean is gone. I don't understand those ones. But they definitely were bigger holes than I usually like. Like I really like a jean that has like more like pockmark frayed holes. I like that look. All right, frayed jeans. I think we're going to tell the story of probably like 15. When I was 15. In the late 90s, let's say. In the late 1990s, because I was 15 in 1997. The 1970s were back in style. I mean, I had a lava lamp that year. I had one of those like South American embroidered, like very Peruvian textile kind of backpack at that time. Mood rings were huge. I had, I wanted to say, I think I had like a mood ring pendant where like it would lay on your chest, on the skin of your chest, and then it could change color. I feel like, I don't know if I had that or maybe a friend of that, but somebody definitely had that. So the 70s were way back in style. So, and I had sewing class. Let's say like my greatest project was altering a pair of jeans to create bell bottoms. So like I cut up the sides and sewed in triangular panels. They were brown corduroy. Yep. That was the era of not caring if your pants were too long. Every hem got caught under your shoes, under the heel of your shoes. It was ridiculous. Like even when you had like a thread, like, you know, like the piece of your hem, but it was all cut out in the middle, we still wouldn't cut it off. We would like just get ourselves caught in those holes. It was so silly. What were we doing back then? I mean, it's the same thing that teenagers do all the time. Interesting that I wrote that, though. Like the idea that I put frayed jeans on my list. And $6.95, so that would have been, you know, mid 2000s. Like by that time, I was in my mid 20s, and I wasn't super into frayed jeans at that time. It was still before skinny jeans, though. I mean, I guess not really. Like mid 2000s was emo. Fast forwarding commercials. So I kind of wonder if this is at the beginning of that PVR era. I think that's it. Like we never had a PVR in my house. My family never had one, but my friend had one. And learning that you could just like not watch those commercials. I am a big commercial muter as well too. I will watch it, but you are not going to tell me anything. I will mute. All right, fast forwarding. Let's say through commercials. So maybe I look up, I probably added this to the list at the beginning. No, I cannot spell today. Of the PVR era. This technology was a wonder to a person like me who grew up having to walk to the television. And we're going to say television set in order to change the channel. We did not get a remote for our television until we got a VCR. And the VCR So you could watch television through the VCR because obviously you could tape, you could record the TV. And the VCR had a remote control, but it was one of those, what's the word? Wired. That's the word I'm thinking of. It was wired. So you had to plug it in. And so you could only go so far with that one, right? Like it wasn't a light one. I think we can get to 15. 15 feels like a good number, huh? When you think about this list, 15 out of 3,100 items is not great, but for a little 8-page zine, it's good. Because, I'm not even leaving room for images. Because I think I do want to put some images in there. That would be good. Last spin of the day. Here we go. What do you got for me? Here comes the super embarrassing one. Oh, no, that's not embarrassing. Young Vanes. The Young Vanes was the band that Ryan Ross created after he quit Panic at the Disco. And their one album is absolutely fantastic. And I hate that they never made any more of them. I hate that all the Panic fans hated it too as well. But I was not a Panic fan before Pretty Odd. Pretty Odd that's the album that made me love them because it was just so totally different. And all the Panic fans hated it because it was so totally different. But that's my style of music. That's, that Beach Boys 1960s folky rock music. I love it. It was very California too, this album. It was called Take a Vacation, so it had that kind of beachy feel to it. The Young Vanes, let's say Heart of Mine. And if I'm remembering correctly, this song also has a little bit of meta because I'm pretty sure this is the song that at the end of it, you hear John Walker saying, "Happy birthday, Ryan," and everyone clapping. I think it's that song. We'll have to listen. So some things I'm going to have to listen to. I'm going to have to listen to Heart of Mine by Young Vanes. I'm going to have to listen to Bins by Solange. Look up some Christopher Walken impressions. Maybe not girls. I mean, I know girls just want to have fun. Might just throw some lyrics in there. We're going to have to go look up the iPod music quiz. Might throw an example of a dangling modifier in there. But that's some good work. We filled all the pages for the most part, right? We know this back cover. I just had to double check that you were actually on the pages screen, that I hadn't forgotten to flip it over. So the back cover is going to be this is where the credits go, right? So I'm going to put my name and website and all that kind of stuff. And then the cover, I'm going to have to think about, and what are we going to call this? Are we going to call it Love List? We might. I've just always called it my love list, which sounds really weird when I say it out loud like that, but it's just things that I love. It's a list of things that I love. So that's what it is. There we go. That's a lot of music, though. A lot of music on this list. Wow. Now that I'm seeing it, now that I'm looking at it all together, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a podcast, 7. And only one movie and Christopher Walken, which kind of counts like a movie. But I guess fast forwarding through commercials kind of counts as TV. And no books. Oof. Oofa doofa. The only writing thing on here is what many people think is a mistake. That's funny. But that's how it goes when you're making something random. All right, there it is. So, thanks for hanging out with me. This is not done, obviously. Obviously, the zine is not done yet. But we got through this giant list. And I'll flip over here and remind you. Sunday Zine Club number 7. This is on itch.io. The link is down below there. But also, if you don't know, I have a website called jessdriscoll.com that you can sign up for my blog, and I will occasionally send you a newsletter when I make something big. But what I also did is I created a page as like an archive of Sunday Zine Club. So if you go to my website and then up here, you just click on Sunday Zine. So this is the current theme. This is the playlist. And then these are the past jams. Because the way that cataloging on Itch works it just kind of disappears. So I wanted to have a catalog here of all the jams that we've done. And eventually I'm going to put the pictures here. Eventually. I just have to track them all down because I can't find number 4. I might have to go and re-download it from the jam site, from the jam page. So 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get this done. We can do that, right? You can make a zine in 2 weeks. I bet you can. I did not make a zine in an hour and 32 minutes, which is how long I've been here. But I got a lot of work done. I'm really proud of that. I'm really pleased with that, rather. It's not really like a proud achievement. I'm just like, oh, I'm happy that I did that. I got something done. All right. We're going to say goodbye. And thank you for joining me on this Monday. And I am not promising, but I'll probably be here next Sunday. I'm thinking I might do next Sunday just to get this thing done. Because who knows how much I'm actually going to get done during the week. Who knows? But going live is really good. It's very motivating because you're watching me. Even if you're not actually there, you're watching me. Bye-bye to the chat. Thanks for hanging out. So someone actually was watching me today. Oh my gosh. No, I'm just kidding. You kind of, it's cheesy, but you do have to stream as if there are people there, right? Imagine that there are people there, even if there aren't. If you build it, they will come. Thank you.